All right, so here we go with part 2 of the syllabus for Math 152 in the winter of 2017. Um, yeah, wow. So we've got through the things I'm going to grade you on. There's a few other things. Disability accommodations. If you have any um, disabilities that need accommodating, then please let me know. The Disability Support Services Office is in LDC 116. They're really good at working with people and getting the appropriate paperwork. In fact, I've already gotten a couple of notifications from them of students this quarter that need accommodations, and I'm always happy to do so. Just let me know. I'll work with them. They get the paperwork going, and we will do what we need. So my guess is that quite often people with the accommodations needed, we don't do the test. You wouldn't come to the midterm and the final. You take that instead in the testing center, so we can give the appropriate amount of time for that. I should point out that even the people who do come to take the midterm and the final with me on campus, it's scheduled 7 to 9. I don't ever cut anyone off at 9 o'clock. I like to make sure people feel like they have appropriate time. I don't think it should take you that long, but if it does, there's people work at different paces. If it takes you longer, that's fine. But there's some people who know they're going to need a lot more time, so we would arrange to do that at the testing center. So anyway, yeah, conduct expectations and things. Yes, participation and conduct. Mathematics is not a spectator sport. I really expect that you will participate. In fact, that's what you need to do to achieve success here. So participate in the discussions, do the homework, watch the videos. Um, yeah, just be part of the class. Um, it's, it's the way to do it. So anyway, academic honesty, don't cheat. The quizzes you're asked to do them by yourself. So do them by yourself. Don't have someone else help you. Just do them by yourself. Homework, please get help. All that you want, talk about it and everything. But quizzes, do them by yourself. When you come to the midterm, do your own work. Don't do someone else's work, or don't have someone else do your work. Uh, you're not going to learn that way. You learn by doing it yourself. Um, anyway, your students, the WCC Student Rights and Responsibility Handbook spells out the various disciplinary actions for cheating. I've dealt with it before. I'll deal with it again if I have to. Just don't make me have to, right? Let's just do your own work. Some support services available. There is tutoring. The Learning Center over in Cascade Hall has the Math Center within it. There's all sorts of tutors that can help. In fact, you may even be a tutor over there yourself. It's a great place to go, hang out, and do your homework. Of course, there's me. You can come to me for help. But the Learning Center is a really good place too, if I'm not available. Whatcom is a member of the Northwest E-Tutoring Consortium. Of course, we always have been. I assume we still are. So there's tutors available electronically. There's some links here for you to click on to get you to those tutors. Honestly, I don't think I've ever had a student tell me they've used it, but it's available. So there. Yeah. Communication guidelines. Communications with your fellow students and your instructor, me. We should be courteous to each other and professional. Your best learning aids are going to be your fellow students. There's all kinds of stuff to be learned from each other. So treat each other with respect. I will endeavor to do the same. Let's see. Yeah, you're encouraged to help each other with homework, as we mentioned, but the quizzes you should be done by yourself. No questions about the quizzes on the discussion boards. Just do them by yourself. Okay. To contact me, either use the messaging system within WAMAP or send me an email or give me a phone call. I usually get back to you within 24 hours, particularly if you contact me early in the week. Once it gets to be Friday, Friday's kind of a good bet that I'll get back to you. Saturday and Sunday, you're going to have to wait till Monday probably. So anyway, just so you know. And as we mentioned, there are 2 times this quarter where I'm going to ask people to get together and come to campus. That would be February 15th and March 22nd. If you have any conflicts with that, please let me know, and we will find alternate arrangements. Technology required, of course, you're going to need internet access as an online class, right? Also, a camera or a scanner. If you had that available, once in a while you're going to want to scan some of your work, send it to me so that I can see what you did, maybe to see what you did wrong. Um, anyway, it's just convenient if you have some way of taking pictures and sending me documents. So. Yes, then there is this whole inclement weather thing. This is winter quarter. There's times when it snows and the college closes. And I always wonder, it's an online class. Who cares if the college is closed? We can still do our thing from wherever we are. In fact, you may be in some very sunny place right now, like Palm Springs or something. I don't know. You may be in Alaska for all I know. Um, anyway, the only time that inclement weather really affects online students is in the event that someone lives in a place where they don't have internet access and they have to go get it. They have to go to the library, they got to come to school, something like that. If that's the case and you can't get out, then don't. Yeah, the online class will keep going, but if you're in a situation where it is unsafe for you to go get internet access, then don't, and just let me know as soon as possible when you are back in contact, and we will make sure that we compensate somehow and get you back up to speed. So, but for the most part, if we can't keep going, we will keep going. Anyway, then the syllabus ends with a a calendar, which I'm finding all kinds of typo. This is actually the winter of 2017. It is, it's the dates of 2017. The title just wasn't right. So, yeah, this would be, if I were teaching this as a face-to-face class, this would be the pacing. It matches very closely what the pacing is on the OneMap page as to what we do each week. But this actually shows you where each week is. Week 1, week 1.5, week 2, week 3, week 4. Yeah, so I mentioned quiz 1 is a little different than the other ones. Because we start on a Wednesday and there's 2 holidays in there. There's Martin Luther King Day and there's President's Day later on. This quarter actually strings out over 12 weeks, and yet it's an 11-week quarter, right? So what I do is week 1 goes from January 4th up to January 10th. So quiz 1 is actually due Tuesday night on January 10th at midnight on January 10th. Okay. Week 2 then starts here in the middle of here and ends. Week 2 goes all the way up to the end of January, week of January 20, which actually would get me to January 22 would be the Sunday. So quiz 2 is actually due on Sunday, January 22nd at midnight, just before week 3 starts. Okay. So week 1 and 2 kind of go a little more, take a little more time than the other ones. You got a little more time to get through the stuff. But that just gets us on track so that by the end you get to week 11, even though this is the 12th week of the quarter, right? So these numbers out in front tell you what week we're in. On the WAMAP page, there will always be a reminder telling you what week it currently is, so you know what stuff you should be working on. Okay. Yeah, so you can see the quizzes are all, they say they're due on Friday. If it was a face-to-face class, that's when we'd have it, would be Friday. But since it's online, you actually have until Sunday night to get them done. There's the midterm exam, test 1 on February 5th, and the final March 22nd. One thing I should say about the final exam is that it is not cumulative. It is simply a second half of the quarter test, right? So chapters 6, 8, and 9 would be on the final, where chapters 5 and 7 are on the midterm. Okay. So, yeah, if there's any questions you have, please ask them. That's what I'm here for. The online classes, you don't see your instructor quite as much. You'll see me in that I make the videos. At least you'll hear me. I'm the one that's made all the videos for this class. And but you can talk to me. You can come to my office. It's, like I said, it's wide open. My door's open. Come in. Email me, call me, whatever, if you've got questions. That's my job. More so for an online class than a face-to-face class is just answering your questions. So please ask them. So anyway, should be a great quarter. This is fun stuff. Fun stuff. Actually, I'll admit that as a student, I hated Calc 2. I really did. I just didn't get it. somehow it didn't make much sense to me. Um, but now having come back to it after so many years, it's like, what was my problem? I think it's really fun stuff. It's very applicable, and yeah, it's yeah challenging, but at the same time fun. So anyway, it should be a great quarter, and let's have fun.